Hi friends, it's Brittany eating the Papyrus. Today we are going to be making one of my favorite junk journal embellishments, and that is the concept of, well, essentially if you've used a specimen card and a junk journal pocket together. So one windowed envelope is fine. If you have two windows, I like that even more because it allows us to add a couple of different components. So grab yourself a windowed envelope, some scissors, or a paper cutter works even better, and let's get to it. So first things first, we're going to alter our envelope, and I think by far it's easiest if you can flip this open like a book. So the way I do this is making a slit down here. You want to leave yourself enough room between the window and the cut here. That's why you shouldn't rip these open. Ideally, you would cut into the envelope. So I'm just going to make a cut there. Okay, and then we're going to make a cut at the bottom and a cut at the top. So now we can open it like a book, and I think that makes this so much easier to work with. If you have any flaps sticking up, we can take care of that as well. Don't rip it off, because then you'll have an envelope that is shorter on one side than the other. So we're just going to glue this flap down without gluing the envelope shut. And same on this side. Just glue where that flap sits and we'll be good. So first, I like to decorate inside the envelope. You want to put something in that's going to cover each of these windows. It can be the same thing, or they can be two different things that complement each other. You can put anything flat inside. You can put paper, you could put coins, flowers, anything that you would normally put in a specimen card. And actually I have thread sitting here. How cool would like a sewing themed specimen card be? You could put some thread and some buttons. The possibilities are limitless. So I'm working in my Home for a Bunny spring journal. So I think I'm going to make something very floral and bright. Let's take a look here. I'm at that point where I have so many things on my desk. I have too many options. Looking at this ribbon here. And remember, we have two windows we're working with, so we can pick two different things. I'm wondering if I should put a little ribbon in this one. I'm just trying things on for size. I'm gonna go get some dried flowers. I'll be right back. So I have these really pretty dried pink flowers. I'm thinking I'm gonna put in like true specimen card fashion. I'm gonna back the flowers behind something, and then maybe I'll use this in the other window. I think if I put this behind the flowers, it would be too busy. I'm looking at this white lace, and I'm wondering, oh wow, that looks really pretty. We just need to get rid of the black and white portion of the envelope. All right. So just so I don't have to measure, I'm just gonna glue this down to the whole envelope. How are you guys doing? What projects are you working on this week? Spring is in full bloom, and I have the sniffles to prove it. You can literally wash your car and there's pollen on it again within like the hour. So yes, spring and allergies are in full bloom here. Okay, just close this. Let me just scoot this over just a little bit. Oh, we'll just crease it. Okay. All right, don't worry, we're gonna decorate the outside of the envelope and get this totally spruced up. Okay. I typically like taking care of the inside windows first because I think that kind of dictates to me how I want to decorate the rest of the envelope. That's just me. A lot of times I end up sewing these. So I'm going to show you the pocket portion in just a second. You'll want to take that into consideration, and I think it's helpful if you know where you're going to fold your envelope before you decorate. So, sorry, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Okay. I just want to make sure we don't hang over into the next little window there. I would recommend always using glue stick, unless you're going to be really patient and let whatever you put inside dry, because you don't want the glue to seep out and muck up your window. Then it's not a window anymore. Okay, I think that's going to look really nice. Okay, this is the portion where the pocket comes in. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this up. Okay, depending on how long your window is, that will dictate where you fold, obviously. If your window is all the way up here, you can have a pocket that goes up here. My pocket's going to be not quite as deep, and that's fine. So you want to know exactly where your fold is. You don't want to have to waste your time decorating all of this white space that's going to be covered. But this is driving me crazy because this is not a straight edge at all. So much better. All right. So let's go ahead and glue this down. I oftentimes like to sew around my envelopes. You absolutely do not have to. That is not a requirement in the least. That's just what I like to do, and I think it gives it a really nice look, and I think it really holds everything in really well. A lot of times I'll sew around the window, but that's totally optional. And then before I make any cuts, I'll usually just make sure, without gumming up the window, I'll kind of bring this down so I can see and make sure we're covering up the entire window. Okay, we'll cut that off. Okay, and then this, I don't think we're going to be able to glue stick on. This I'm going to need to put some glue down, and maybe, gosh forbid, have to wait for this to dry. I'm very impatient, but you know, I never take my own advice, unfortunately. So I only have myself to be mad at if I completely ruin this. Okay. The one thing I will say, I could technically sew along this side, like up this way, because I was planning on, so if you're gonna make a pocket, you can either clip this in and make it a removable, or you can glue this to the back of your journal, or I'm sorry, the back, you know, to the back of a page, in which case nobody's going to be seeing this and nobody should see the sewing marks, as long as you start your stitching above this line. So I could do that. But realize if you do that, you're going to have sewing in the back. So you might not want to do that if you are making this a removable. For the sake of the purpose of this video, I'm going to glue this down. And just do my best to not gum everything up. Just put it on the bulky, concentrated portions of the lace as best you can. I got it everywhere. Okay, I'm not gonna put that window down completely or else I'll get glue all over it. Still needs to come over some. Okay, I think that looks really nice. Now, question is, how do we want to secure our flowers? There's a couple of things you can do here. We could glue this down. I would recommend hot glue or silicone glue. You want to make sure whatever you're putting in here is really flat. I've had times before where I put something like bulky in here, and I can tell you the envelope never sits right when you do that. When you try and close this, there will be like wrinkles and like bubbles just from this being elevated. So I'm just gonna press this for a second. Okay. Make sure it fits in the window. The other thing you can do, which kind of looks cool, is you can put a piece of washi tape over the stem here. I really like this white washi that has text on it. I think we'll have to cut it down for our purposes, but I think it'll look good. Just gonna make this a little thinner. Okay. Always glue your washi if you want it to stay. Oh, I think that looks really nice. If I were to do it over again, I don't know that I would pick this fabric though. This is like very kind of classic and muted, and this is, I don't know. What to do. I have this fabric on my desk left over from something else. I'm kind of eyeing up. Oh, I really like the look of that lace. Is it too late to change my mind? Not when you use glue stick, guys. I don't think there's enough here though. What if I have, let's see, I have this. What if we use this and do this like beige off-white thing? Let's see how this works. No. I really like this. Let's see. I do have more of it laying here. Maybe I'll just stagger it. It's wild and it's like applique, I guess you'd call it. It's like lace applique. It's very multi-dimensional. I'm gonna sew around these windows, or else I would really like do a good job gluing this, but I think if you sew around the window, stuff's not gonna go anywhere. So let's see. Just gonna stagger it here. Okay. Not sure how close I am to the window. Let's make sure we get a little bit more of that lace in. I think I'm going to be a lot happier than I would be with that purple or white lace, whatever it is. I think this just goes a lot more with the theme. see. A little bit more lace in there. Okay. I think this will be really pretty, especially with like some lace and some applique. We could even make a double pocket by sewing this paper like this and then sewing a piece of lace to, actually you probably want to do that first. You'd sew a piece of lace here and then sew this here. Ooh, that could be really nice. I don't think I've ever made a double pocket before with these. That could be really cool. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to decorate this before we sew it, or else it's not gonna make any sense. You don't want to put stuff over the sewing. So get whatever you want to decorate. I am going to, I was gonna see if I could cover up some of this. It depends on how much you dislike the writing. Sometimes I like hints of the fact that it actually was an envelope at one point, right? This is going to be covered up, so I don't have to worry about this. I'm not saying you need to cover up everything. You could, you know, take some really pretty cardstock and cover over the envelope. What I will say is it can be really difficult to finagle your cardstock around the windows. Okay, if you're going to do that, it's like really impossible to round out the cardstock to make this fit perfectly. It's okay if it's not totally rounded and you make this rectangle a square. That's totally fine. I wouldn't go crazy over it. If you want to keep to the rectangle, then maybe instead of putting cardstock over, you want to decorate with stencils or paints. You can do, like, the possibilities with these are absolutely limitless. I think I want to stick to the neutral tones. And I also like to accentuate the windows with like lace and trim and things like that. I think it'd be really fun to just go around this large. So maybe we'll go around this small window with washi, and we'll go around the large window with some pretty lace. Why don't we do that? I love decorating these, and in fact, I think I'm going to mass make these either today or tomorrow because I have so many windowed envelopes I have saved over time, and there's so many different things you can do with these. I did a video a while back. It's like, how many junk journal snacks can we make with a windowed envelope? And I go into just all the different things you can make with this junk mail. If you are interested, I will link that video in the description box and I will put it above. But yeah, that was super, super fun. Okay. You do get to a point though where when you start holding on to everything, I mean, you have to use up your stuff, right? That's really my theme of this year. I have hoarded a bunch of stuff, and I decided that one of my New Year's resolutions was to start shopping for my own craft supply first. So instead of going out and buying things, I had to look in my own closet first, and I can't tell you how many times I have found things in my closet that I had totally forgotten about. It was like Christmas morning, you know, which is kind of embarrassing, but it just goes to show you, when you hoard a bunch of like little things, you say, oh, I'm gonna do something with this one day, you know, it's easy to forget about things. So yeah, okay. Okay. All right, I like the way that looks. I am just going to frame this window with this lace here. I'm gonna try and be really, really careful not to gum this up. You want to be really careful around the window because it's so easy to gum your window up with glue, and it's so sad when that happens. So sad. If you do, maybe try some rubbing alcohol, or if you can if you can in time, like some soap, just a little bit, a dab of soap. This is so therapeutic. I love making these, and I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever made one that I've been disappointed with, because I don't know, they're so easy to make and they always just turn out so good. And it's actually a great scrap buster project because look at all these like little bits I have from making my spring journal. Like you can utilize so many different things, you know, paper to decorate the outside of the envelope, you know, like lace, applique, whatever you want to line the windows, little doodads to put inside. You can truly go hog wild with this. So I think this is the perfect scrap buster. Alright, I'm gonna fold this a little bit further down just so I don't cover up that pretty lace window. Oh, we did say we were going to sew a piece of lace around this to make this a double pocket, didn't we? Okay. So I'm gonna close this right here. Just this portion. I think it'll be easier to work with if we close it with glue. I also think it's really pretty if you, and you absolutely don't have to do this, but I think it looks really unique when the actual pocket itself is different than the rest of the envelope. So you could do this with a different piece of fabric. If you're stenciling, use a different color stencil. Oh my gosh, guys, I found this in my scrap drawer. Look how beautiful this is. This will go perfectly on this pocket. Absolutely perfectly. So what I was gonna do is glue this down to the pocket and then sew this lace around here to make a second pocket. Actually, I'm going to show you how you can make this envelope into a 3-pocket envelope. So I am going to glue down this paper to the bottom of the pocket. I just think this is perfect for this. I think it looks like it was meant to go together. I'm just gonna cut along here. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I absolutely love this already. Okay. Now, I got this stencil, and I think Not that there's anything wrong with the white space, but I think I want to do a little stenciling along the sides. And I think I'm going to use a new neutral color. I'm just going to go for a, I think this light brown, this gathered twig would look really nice. So I'm just grabbing my little paddle brush is the word I'm looking for. I'm gonna rub off this old red paint. Okay. We're not gonna have much to stencil, just the sides here. I'm gonna try not to gum up my lace. I think the paddle brushes are so much easier when you're using stencils. The daubers are great for inking. The paddle brushes put on are really nice for the stenciling. It just makes it so much easier. The stencil's not moving as you try and you don't get those like circular marks that you get when you try and use your dauber. Okay, ooh, that's really, really pretty. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Gorgeous. All right, I am loving this. Oh, this is beautiful. I absolutely love this. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit more about what I'm gonna do here, the plan for the sewing, so I don't mess this up. So I'm measuring my lace, cutting along here. I just want this slightly shorter than the paper pocket. Let's even this out. I just think this is beautiful lace. Okay. I think this would be a really hard lace to glue on, and I definitely like the look of the sewing, and I have pink thread in my sewing machine right now, so I'm going for it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just like this, I am going to sew. Actually, we could just sew like this. I'm going to sew the entire envelope down here, right? Keep this pocket open. Down here on this side, and then I'm happy with what's in my envelope, so then I'm just going to sew right here. If I wanted to accentuate a window, I could sew around a window as well. So I am all sewed up. Like I had talked about, I went around the entire envelope, being careful to leave this lace pocket open and then the paper pocket behind it. If you want, obviously you can take your circle punch and create a divot in here to make it look more like a pocket, but I was happy the way it was. Plus, since I was going to put lace over it, I wanted the paper pocket to be exactly the same height as the lace. This is what it will look like on the back. Obviously, if you were going to make this a removable, you will want to decorate the back. I'm gluing this to my journal because I want to show you how to make this a 3-pocket pamphlet. Not pamphlet, 3-pocket envelope. Okay. Who am I kidding? So I'm going to show you. Let's find a page in the journal. I love how this came out. This is so pretty. It's more like vintage Victorian, but I think with the flowers and the lace, it'll pass for spring. I love this. Okay, so as you can see, I'm working in my spring journal. I'll find, it might look pretty. So you guys can see I have some work to do. I haven't, this is pretty fresh. I got a lot of oh, okay, so let me show you an example. So this is another one that I made. This is a 2-pocket-er. I just glued this to the back of the page like this, so that creates a second pocket. And this was an envelope with 2 windows of the same exact size. So I was going for symmetry here. And so what I did, I took some ink, I daubed this up with blue ink. I put a digital image behind the windows of just like blue floral themes. Went in here with some gold gilding wax. I love the blue and the gold together. I stickled down the middle, and then I sewed this with straight stitch and then the leaf stitch. And I love how this came out. But you can see here the way I folded this. I folded this all the way up essentially, so the pocket's very high. But there's just another example. I told you I love making these. So gotta mass make some more. Okay, so enough chatting. Gotta find a home for this lovely little envelope. That might be pretty. Is that too busy? You guys are getting a full flip through here before the journal's anywhere near complete. How about that? Okay. Just have to find. Oh. Yes, let's put it next to the fairy page because I think it ties in the peach and the brown. All right, so very easy. If you want to make this a 3-pocketer, we have our lace here, pocket 1, pocket number 2. You want to make another pocket, all we do is instead of gluing this whole thing down, we are just going to apply glue right along the edges of our envelope. And then now behind the envelope you will have an additional pocket, and that will make this a 3-pocket envelope. How about that? And maybe I'll do some stenciling or something around, you know, on the page. And maybe I'll just leave it as is. Maybe decorate a little bit up top. So many possibilities. How beautiful. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I know this was a shorter video and it was very simple because we're just working with basic supplies, but you know what? Sometimes those are the most rewarding, satisfying projects. So I hope this inspired you to make some of your own decorative envelopes. Hold on to that junk mail, baby. You will find a way to use it. So if you enjoyed this and you want to see more of Ink and Papyrus, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you the next time.